finding the right words to say is very, 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 very common during this stage. And a lot of it has to do with hormone shifts. Welcome to episode 3 of the Me First podcast, episode 3, season 2. I should be specific. Today we're talking about the midlife brain fog. I do know that we just talked about brain fog in one of our recent episodes, but we can never not talk about it or enough. We can never talk about it enough. That's what I meant. Anyways, how's it going? How are you doing, Ria? We're matching.
I know, we're always matching lately. I'm doing good, very good.
We're syncing.
We're syncing, cycle
Hey,
syncing.
right? Oh, my necklace is kind of reversed, but
I love it.
nobody cares. I was gonna ask you what's the weather like in Spain right now?
It's still nice. It's very comfortable still. We get lows of, I would say, 12 average, and then highs of, we would go up to 18. Sometimes we would
Can
go
you
up
still
to
wear
20.
shorts?
I wouldn't because I get cold fast, but other
Okay, that's
people, they
me too.
would. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Very
I
comfortable.
saw pictures of your backyard or your pool. You could still go
Yes.
swimming. I can imagine. Is your pool heated?
Not me. My husband, he can still, yeah, it's heated, but not me. No.
Okay.
It's gonna be the death of me.
Swimming in the pool because it's
No,
cold.
it's the cold.
It's supposed
Yeah.
to be good. Oh, it's supposed to be
Actually,
good for your
no.
body.
No,
Cardio in
not
the
for
water.
not for actually the cold plunges. I'm talking about the cold plunges. Cardio in the water, absolutely. But cold plunges, it's not. It's good for men because they don't have fluctuating hormones. But for women in perimenopause, it's actually going to be counter-effective.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, and
I'm
what
not gonna
helps us
be.
more is sauna instead of cold plunges. Do
Oh,
sauna. Our
I'm
body
not gonna
loves
be
that.
good for either because when I
No?
go into a sauna, it feels like I can't breathe. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
And then cold plunges. No, I'm not down.
No, me
Not down
too.
for cold plunges
No.
at all.
Yeah.
You say you
It's too
like the sauna? How
stressful.
long do you stay in there?
I love
How long do you
sauna.
stay in a
I
sauna?
would sometimes I would go 40, 50 minutes. I love it. But it's our sauna at home. It's in Canada. We don't have it here. Um, it goes only up to 158, but it has infrared light. So, but
Oh,
I love it.
infrared's
I love
supposed to be
that.
good for you. Have
Yeah.
you tried
Yeah, I
like the
miss that.
infrared for your face?
No, I would like
Have you
to.
seen them?
Yeah, I
I kind of want
saw
to
Kim
try it.
Kardashian.
Was it her? I
Yeah.
don't know who I saw. I think I saw it on the Korean thing.
Yeah,
They
I,
put the
I I
red
think
thing
it
on
helps
their
a lot.
face. I've seen a couple. So you can buy one for $40 and you can buy one for $800. And I'm like, what's the difference? Is it worth the investment? I
Right?
do know. Do you try infrared for pain?
No. How does
So
that
I
work?
heard infrared works for pain. Infrared, so they have like targeted, it looks like a little flashlight, but it's got like a red infrared light, which is why I
Oh.
think it's beneficial to have it in your sauna. I can imagine that the infrared that you have in your sauna will help with inflammation.
Oh,
Because when
yes.
people have like joint pains and whatnot, it looks like a little flashlight and you aim it kind of like where your pain is.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
because the infrared in our sauna, they're about this big. I would say 3 feet, 2 feet maybe, and then it's just attached beside the door on both sides of the door of the sauna. So if I want to go closer, like for example, I'm sore, I have a back sore, I would just
Yeah.
point it to my back.
Yeah. So you can technically get it in like a little flashlight device thing. You can attach it to wherever your pains are.
Good to
So
know. Good to know.
benefits of infrared, gotta look into that. But today we're talking about brain fog.
Yes.
Tell me about your experiences. Real talk. What you got? I can tell you about all my brain fogs, but I'm not gonna start with me. Let's start with you.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Well, my brain fogs comes and goes. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better. But I think the most times that I'm more conscious about it is when I have an argument with my husband and it hits me. And I hate it like all the time that my brain fog would hit me. It's when I'm about to deliver like my punch. So yeah, that's how I remember it. It's mostly that and forgetting why I walked into a room and what was I gonna do here again. I get a lot of that.
So, before I tell you my own brain fog story, the argument that you're getting into, and then suddenly you forget what you want to say, I don't think that's brain fog. I'm
What
gonna
is
tell
it?
you so. It's not. It may be a I want to say I'm gonna call it a character flaw. You know why I
Okay.
have it, and it's funny because my boss has it too. So obviously, in the office, you kind of get into disagreements with people, different departments, and whatnot, and then they'll just say something so dumb that it gets you flabbergasted, and you don't know what to say right away. And it happens to me,
Okay.
and it's not because of brain fog. It's just
Okay.
that you're stupefied, but you're stupefied by whatever they said, that you cannot clap back right away. And so what ends up happening to me is I remember what they say 2 hours later after I've kind of calmed down from the meeting, and I'm like, I should have said that, and I type it up. I say it.
So it's not brain
Going back to our
fog.
conversation. No,
Okay.
that it's probably just like, you can't think quick enough because you heard something that just catches you off guard. Make that
Okay, it does
analogy.
make sense. It does make sense
Make
now.
that analogy. Yeah. But me recently, it's really funny. So one of my experiences that I'm noticing is that I'm forgetting some words, and I'm forgetting some terms, and I'm forgetting names of things, and all of these are normal. Like, there are things that I normally say or do, or people I know, and it's really weird. I'm noticing that. But that said, I'm actually going to go straight into what causes these. What I was learning is that the one of the top three most common things, most common symptoms of perimenopause and menopause is actually concentration problems. So there's three concentration issues that we are experiencing in perimenopause, and then eventually menopause and postmenopause. Number one, verbal fluency, which is my problem right now. You have a difficulty finding the right words. Very, very common. And another one is focusing, like maintaining attention. And the other one is forgetfulness. So really, really,
Wow, good
really
to know.
strange. But the verbal fluency is not something that I ever thought of. But apparently, it's one of the most, like, finding the right words to say is very, 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 very common during this stage, and a lot of it has to do with hormone shifts. So it'll affect your memory, your focus, your clarity, all of that stuff, and it all kind of happens right now. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that your hormone dropped, especially estrogen. You'd be amazed. You know what? We could probably go an entire year of podcast episodes of just talking about the impacts of the drop in estrogen in your body as you go through perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
statistics show that perimenopause happens about 8 years on average in the United States. I don't know the studies in Canada or any other country, but in the United States, perimenopause or menopause on the average generally happens at the age of 51. So if you count back 8 years, perimenopause would be starting at about 43. But
Yeah.
that being said, sometimes, and it's happening more often now than before, it could happen longer than 8 years, which is what I think happened to you, because you said you started
Yes.
at 38. The challenge is there are not very many studies that kind of prove that this is happening. But if we were just to take the 8 years into consideration, imagine once you hit 43, your estrogen is consistently dropping until you get to menopause at 51. So now your brain is not able to handle, your brain is now having trouble processing information. Your brain is now having challenges with memory and mental clarity and all that stuff. And then obviously we're going back, we were talking about this at the previous episode, your cortisol spikes. You were
Yeah.
talking like I think cortisol is probably also what's impacting you not being able to respond in it's your fight or flight response.
Yeah. Yeah,
When
it
you get
makes
into an
sense.
argument, you get a spike in cortisol and you're like, blip, forget what you want to say.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So, and then we talked about this before too. Inflammation, in your body can impact your cognitive speed, which is really a chance. I'm going to tell you, somebody like me, I take pride in being able to kind of do my job and do my job well. And it really hits my morale and my, how do I say this? Like, it really impacts my pride and how I feel about myself when I'm not able to concentrate. It's kind of a
Of
challenge because
course.
I feel like for what I do, I'm really dependent on my cognitive abilities.
Mm-mm.
And if my cognitive abilities start to diminish, it affects me personally.
Of
But
course. I can understand.
yeah, yeah, it's a real challenge. And so, I'm getting better at it. I'm gonna say for a long time, I'm gonna tell you, probably right after I had my hysterectomy, I
Mm-hmm.
was starting to think, am I having early onset dementia? I actually went and researched that because I was randomly forgetting things. And before I always, because even at a younger age, I would go to the mall. There's a reason why I wear crossbody purses, okay? I would go to the
Okay.
mall, and if I'm holding a regular tote, I would put it down somewhere and I'll forget about it. I've done that even in my 20s. I've always been forgetful, and I've always thought that I was forgetful. So later on in life, I'm starting to notice that the forgetfulness was becoming more frequent. And so I started researching early onset dementia because I thought I was having it, not thinking that it's actually me who pretty much got thrown into menopause after hysterectomy. It's
Wow.
better now because I'm taking a lot of like other supplements. We have a lot of supplements now, and then now I have Mind and Motion to take. But
Mm-hmm.
really, when I first started experiencing forgetfulness, I didn't even think that it had anything to do with my drop in hormones because I was not educated. I'm just
Wow.
gonna admit. Yeah.
So it's true that there are a lot of women who are thinking that they probably have dementia because they keep forgetting stuff. Because I only read that from books or from social media that there are a lot of women
Yeah.
who are googling that. So it happened to you too. So, oh,
I didn't even know that that was a study. I'm just sharing. This is
hmm.
personal experience for me. I think I
I
was probably
know.
like 45, 46. I'm like, shoot, am I having early onset dementia? And that's the direction
Wow.
I went.
It does
I
happen, yeah.
asked my I asked my family to see if we had any kind of history because I thought it was genetic, but there's nothing. So I just didn't know. And so really pretty much just educating myself and then eventually getting to the point where, oh wait, I am in menopause and I probably should be doing other things to kind of address my hormonal issues. And I'm going to say there has been a significant, noticeable improvement since I started doing HRT, since I started taking supplements, and now since I've started taking Mind and Motion. Honestly, I like for real. And these are things we kind of owe to ourselves, I think.
I believe you.
But
Yeah.
who'd have thunk I would not have started to think about it as hormones. And for us, honestly, it sucks, but it's cultural for us. It happens to us as a stage. We go through it, we get old, and that's it. We accept it.
Yeah.
I never thought that it's actually anything that I was going to be able to do anything about. So here I am. Anyways, we were already talking about solutions. Solutions. What you got? You got solutions? I'm sure you have solutions. You
Yeah.
studied this a lot more than I did.
Well, actually, the brain fog, my brain fog is not my, like, it's not the top of my problem. So, not yet. But sometimes I walk into a room, what was I doing here again? But it doesn't really happen that often. But it's not like I was experiencing this a long time ago. So it's also something new to me. And I do tell other people, like, I can't multitask anymore. I don't want to multitask. I can, but I don't want to. It's just because my brain gets overloaded, I feel like, and I become inefficient. So I try to just focus on one thing at a time. But of course, if it's really, really, really required that I do multitasking, I will, but I try to not multitask. Does that
I
make sense to
love that
you?
you shared that. It does, absolutely. And I love that you shared that because I try to block different times of the day for tasks that need, and this is probably a good tip and solution too. I block different times of the day for tasks and, whatever stuff I need to do that requires focus. So if it requires focus, I need to do something outside of, or I need to do something for work that requires focus, I will do it outside of work hours. I mean, I don't recommend working outside of your work hours. I'm just sharing this because this is me as a person. This is how I function. If I have to do something that requires focus and attention, I do it at a time where staff are not reaching out to me. So I do it either early in the morning or after hours when everybody's gone for the day. Because it's a
Yeah.
challenge when you're trying to focus and doing something and then you get pings and messages. You know me, I have Teams and I have Slack all day long. So you get pinged, and once you're in that train and that train is going and you stop, it's hard to get back on again. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that all of us kind of recognize that about ourselves. And it kind of helps me be more efficient and productive, kind of like what you were saying. The other thing is that we were talking about this earlier in one of our other episodes this season. Prioritize your sleep because sleep is the time that your brain does kind of your cleanup, and that's your reset. And if you don't, it kind of hits your what do you call them, your concentration, your cognitive health, and it has a direct impact on that. So prioritize sleep. And I don't know, do you write things down? I have
Absolutely.
a I'm gonna show you. We're actually right in front of my office desk here, but I have a post-it note dispenser. I
Ah,
still write.
good.
I pull out, I write things that I need to do, and I stick them on my monitor. And then if I've done them, I take it off, I crumple and put it away. For some reason, it does something in my brain. It gives me that tiny bit of serotonin that makes me think I finished it and I'm done with it.
Right? Right?
I could
Yeah.
always, honestly, I could always go digital and create myself a task list and check it off, but it does not give me the same satisfaction as crumpling a post-it note does. And I'm sure you're going to judge me for killing trees.
No, no, no. Actually, it's nice. I like it. Yeah, it's cute.
I mean, I don't mean you, I mean a rhetorical you. People watching are probably going to say you're killing trees. And just to help with that solution, I'm going to show you that instead of using full page post-it notes, I use tiny page post-it notes.
Okay. That's a lot better. No
Yeah.
judgments here. Well, now
Yes.
that you said it, you write things down. I feel like that helped me a lot because lately, and I know this is also part of our fluctuating hormones. My brain gets overwhelmed easily by a lot of information. It stresses me out, and I'm pretty sure that this is because of my estrogen and when it's fluctuating. Absolutely. So what I do is I always, if I have to organize my brain, or else I'm going to get stressed or I'm going to forget things. So I make myself a checklist. So I put it there, and now I feel organized and I'm more relaxed and I can tackle the day. So
Yeah,
that helps a lot rather than just leaving it all in my brain and hoping that I don't forget something.
absolutely. Have you ever heard of the term analysis paralysis?
Yes,
Happens quite often. And I think that's what
true.
happens when I try to rely on my brain to remember everything that I need to do.
Yeah. And that keeps me awake at night and in the morning.
Does
Wakes me
it?
up in the morning.
I
Yeah,
bet.
sometimes I dream about it too. It's crazy.
Oh, that's bad. That means
That
it's
is.
stressing you out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
girl,
Oof. Yeah, sometimes it does that. A long time
girl.
ago, but not anymore.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a me first promise.
Yes, I know. Yeah, that's gonna
Shifting
be
to
my me
it, what
first.
is your promise on how you're gonna put yourself first this week?
Well, I'm gonna continue keeping myself organized so I don't have to think about it and dream about it and wake up at 2 a.m. thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put on my breaks and schedule, and like you said, I'm gonna give myself good sleep hygiene. I'm not
Yeah.
bad at it, but it's just my overthinking brain does it sometimes. So I'm going to focus on that.
Smart people do that. You know what it is? When most people who have a higher aptitude, their brains function like scions. You know what a scion is, right? The thing that's like a cog that's just spinning and it's connected to another cog that causes it to spin. That's connected to
Oh,
another
yeah.
cog. That's
Okay,
what
yeah.
our people who have higher aptitudes, their brains are like scions, and these cogs are just spinning constantly, and that's what causes you to think all the time about everything. Like
Right.
there's a joke going around online. Do you ever see the meme that says, when they lay down at night and they want to try to go to sleep and they start wondering if their passport's expired and if their mom still has their birth certificate?
Yeah, it happens to
That's
me
true.
sometimes.
That's true. That's true. So
Right?
I'm gonna say, I think my me first promise is probably aligned to your me first promise. I'm gonna take a little bit more of a mental break. I tell my staff at work all the time, it's okay to tell yourself, hey, I'm gonna take a day off because I want to take a mental break. Initially, I'm going to admit, probably in my late 20s and early 30s, I thought taking a mental break was being a coward. I thought it was weak. And I didn't realize that all of us need a mental break. All of us need a mental reset. And I don't know if it's cultural for me, but it was a challenge for me to accept that I do need a mental break. I'm getting better. So I'm just going to continue and try to get better.
Good.
Anyways,
That's good.
we are, yes, absolutely. We're trying to wrap up. We've reached the end of our episode 3 for season 2 on the Me First podcast. We want to remind everybody brain fog is not a failure. It is a sign that your body is shifting and it needs support. Once you understand what's happening, the frustration will turn into clarity and confidence again. And be confident in yourself again, because you're amazing. Be part of the Me First movement. Like, follow, and share this video. Follow us on all the socials. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. We're everywhere. And don't forget, subscribe to the Me First podcast. We're on season 2 now. Support our product. Mind in Motion is available now at owendra.com. We are also on the TikTok shop. We got a whole bunch of coupons for everybody out there that you can use so that you can get 10. We may even have a 20% off. And if you order now, you get a free tumbler. It's actually a really good shaker. And once again, like I said, subscribe to the Me First podcast, because over here we put ourselves first without guilt, because if we don't, everybody. See you next time. Goodbye.